welcome to Eldritch Podblast, a D&D inspired podcast. I am your host, Margaret.
And I am Jack.
Welcome to episode 1.
Episode 1, baby.
This is our first time doing this, so I don't think either of us really know what to expect.
No.
But we have quite a good lineup, I would like to think. We want to talk about the OGL. We have created some AI bot dungeon crawls. Well, not necessarily dungeon crawls, more like combats.
Well, I don't know. This is the thing. Margaret's done all the prep, and I'm supposed to just be like surprised by it all.
Well, yeah, you are going to be surprised.
I am going to be surprised.
And then we are going to round up the episode with everyone's favourite, Am I the Arsehole? D&D Edition.
Nice.
So I guess the first thing we should talk about is us.
Yeah? What are you going to say about yourself?
You know what? I didn't plan this.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, as I flipped through
As I get a script out.
My 15-page monologue from birth to now. I was going to say birth to death, but...
Unless you die on this podcast.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
So, yes, I'm Margaret. This is Jack. We are a couple. We have been playing D&D together for coming up to maybe 3 years now.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years.
Which D&D has absolutely changed our lives, really. Yeah. It's given us a proper hobby.
Yeah.
Something we truly, really enjoy.
Yeah, look forward to every week. We haven't been playing for maybe as long as, some people, but, we weren't even alive when it first came out. So,
true.
We are relatively new. So, I would say, you're right, I would say it's changed our lives. We never really had like a structure and we know that every week D&D's on Wednesday, and we look forward to that day every week.
Yeah, we play with our best friends as well, which we're really lucky to be able to do. We play face to face as well.
Yeah, so. Luckily we all live super duper close. Well,
I guess that's enough about us, because technically you guys don't really know us.
No.
So we're just two strangers on the internet talking about things
D&D.
We like.
Yeah, things we like. It's not exclusively D&D. It's mostly themed around D&D, though.
Yeah, well, I guess that kind of brings us on to the next thing we wanted to talk about, which was the release of the new OGL by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah. We're going to say, a little bit about it.
Yeah.
We're not going to say too much.
There is so many more reputable sources than us. For example, Dungeon Dudes did a great video.
Yeah, they did. Ginny D's super fucking vocal
very
about
vocal,
it right now,
which is great. I think we need to be. And to be honest, we were unsure if right now was the right time to start the podcast because, as you can tell, it is very D&D centric.
Yeah.
But we also kind of thought, well, we're not making it for Wizards of the Coast.
No,
we're making it for the community who we very much love and care for and we support. So all the third-party sellers who have created their own campaigns, all the small businesses, the people who've based their art, their livelihood on this.
Yeah.
It's more for them, and I think people need to be willing to say we absolutely do not support the changes. Saying that, the date of filming now, which is Saturday the 14th of January, yesterday, they were supposed to release, they're calling it the draft now. But yesterday...
Oops, big surprise that now it's a draft.
Yeah, but yesterday they backpedaled and they say they are now postponing the release.
I think they have, not to get too far into it, I think they've really, really dropped the ball purely because, Pathfinder have seen this and gone, we've just released an OGL. Because
Paizo, the people who published Pathfinder.
I don't turn up on Wednesday when we play and think, man, I can't wait to play D&D. No, I can't wait to play a role-playing game with my friends with a rule set that makes combat challenging and skill checks and things like that. People aren't married to D&D.
No, well, exactly. And I think that's what we're seeing at the minute.
Yeah.
The amount of people... I did want to touch on that Paizo, they are releasing a system-neutral open RPG license.
Cool.
And again, we're not the best sources to tell you exactly what that means and what that entails, but there is 100% options. And Kobold Press as well. They're releasing their Black Flag RPG system. So... there's options.
Of course there is, and I think Wizards of the Coast need to realise that obviously they're trying to get a monopoly on things. It's just such a bad move.
It's such a bad take.
And we don't need to go too much further in it, apart from the fact that we support all of the small businesses,
100%.
all the small creators.
Yes.
And
D&D would be nothing without the community.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. Tell you what Wizards of the Coast, just get rid of it. It was exactly how it needed to be.
Don't need a new one.
Don't need a new one.
Don't need a new one.
Stop while you're ahead.
Community right now is thriving. Absolutely thriving, and that is down to third-party creators bringing people to D&D.
Right, what's next?
So there has been a trend going around of AI does XYZ. Basically, I went to the people who did DALL-E. They created a chat-based artificial intelligence bot. Is that the right word?
I don't know.
Basically a chat-based thing. You put a prompt in and it will write something for you.
Okay.
And I thought it would be fun if maybe we could see if we could generate like combat, see if we can generate some monsters with stat blocks, and that's what we've got.
Okay.
So we've got two
stat blocks.
We've got 2 encounters. Two encounters with a mix of stat blocks.
Okay.
You will see why I did 2.
Right, is the first one rubbish?
No, the first one isn't rubbish, but listen, when you think D&D combat, what do you think? If you heard Dungeons and Dragons and then you heard a combat.
Dragon.
Yes.
Beholder.
Definitely dragon.
Okay.
At the very least, right?
Okay, cool.
So, I'll start with telling you what my prompt was.
Okay.
So then you can see what I changed to get to the next one.
Okay.
Okay, so my first prompt was create and describe the setting for an extremely hard Dungeons and Dragons combat. Create new monsters for this combat with stat blocks.
Okay.
So, you want me to get straight into...
Yeah. So
I've separated it so we kind of have like the descriptor for what the combat is. Then we have the actual stat blocks.
Okay.
I have sent you a document with the stat blocks in. If you would like to look at them at any point.
Okay. Well, I'll let you tell me about it first, and then I'll look at it.
Okay. So the setting.
Oh.
The setting for this extremely challenging combat is a dark and foreboding fortress built upon a massive active volcano. The fortress is home to an ancient and powerful red dragon who has claimed the volcano as its lair and has enslaved a tribe of goblinoids to serve as its minions. The party, consisting of 5 adventurers, have been hired by a group of nearby villagers to slay the dragon and put an end to its reign of terror. As they approach the fortress, they can feel the heat emanating from the volcano and they can see ash and embers raining down from the sky. The dragon, named Ashfall, is a massive creature with scales as red as lava flowing within the volcano. How cool, Ashfall.
Is that the end of the script?
No.
I was going to say, that's pretty fucking cool.
No, well, yeah, there's one more. One more bit. The party must fight their way through the fortress, battling both the goblin minions and the powerful dragon, all while avoiding deadly traps and hazards caused by the volcano's activity. The dragon's lair is at the top of the fortress, reached by a treacherous climb up the volcano's steep sides. The party must use all of their skills, spells, and resources to defeat Ashfall and survive.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I feel like... So I named this kind of the more traditional take.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like this is like textbook what you would think going into a Dungeons and Dragons combat if you didn't know anything apart from maybe the base information.
It's crazy that it came up with all of the tropes. Like
I know, yeah.
The dragon has enslaved minions. Very especially for a red dragon.
Yeah.
Its fortress is at the top of a volcano.
Yep.
Obviously. That's also very tropey, but cool. Yeah. I just can't believe it's thought of those things.
I know. And again, Ashfall. What a name.
Ashfall is a cool name.
Ashfall's a really, really
That's a
cool
really
name.
Great name.
So, again, and it's kind of gone with the typical trope of, an adventuring party of, how many...
And it's like the local village.
I know. They've been hired to do a job, which, again, I feel like that is very traditional D&D, right?
Yeah.
So, do you want to look at the stat blocks?
Yeah? Oh, is this what you sent me?
Yes. So, you have the copies of the stat blocks. We'll go through the goblins.
Okay.
So, they've supplied 2 different types of goblins. Okay. They've supplied a goblin warrior and a goblin archer.
Yeah.
So, going from the goblin warrior, they're a small humanoid, goblinoid, chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Armor class 15.
Dragon scale armor.
Yeah, I really like that little touch in, like dragon scale armor, and they've been granted they've been enslaved by a dragon.
Yes.
But they're using the dragon scale armor.
Nice.
Hit points 22, 5d6 plus 5.
15 AC, yeah.
And speed 30 feet. Their attacks, so with a spear, it's plus 4 to hit, 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage. They also have a short bow, which is exactly the same, plus 4 to hit, 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage. Do you want to move on to the archer, or do you want to...
No. So, does it in there describe how many there is?
That's the thing. No, it doesn't.
Okay. Because, obviously...
yeah, I know.
If you're coming up against an
ancient red dragon.
Is it ancient?
Ancient red dragon.
So, if you're coming up against an ancient red dragon in your campaign, you're obviously going to be very high level, because...
yeah.
That's a hard fight.
I'd like to think you didn't just stumble in as level 5, like, oh... Guess we're killing Ashfall.
A 15 AC, 22 hit points, and a plus 4 to attack.
Yeah, I know.
Is going to get rolled.
Oh,
by
absolutely.
A team that's going to kill a red dragon.
Stepped on, stand on, squished, gone forever. I mean, what these are, I know that they've called them goblin warriors. I think they're just slightly beefed up goblins. Like straight up just goblins, not like hobgoblins or anything.
No. Hobgoblins have way more hit points.
In fact, I think really the only thing that's different is the dragon scale armor.
Yes.
And then I think they've got a few more hit points than goblins would have.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not much.
So, I mean, the whole point of this was...
look, the goblin archer has 7 hit points.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, moving on to the goblin archer, who was more so traditional goblin.
Yeah.
Small humanoid... Armor class 13, wearing leather armor, hit points 7, 2d6.
Like, if you're going to run that as a dungeon crawl, and you maybe do that before you get to the dragon, you're going to need a swarm.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So just to set some context to this conversation, Jack is a forever DM, chosen. You've chosen this life for yourself.
Yes.
I am a forever player.
Yes. Margaret did try to DM.
I did try to DM. That is a story for another time.
Yeah, you weren't the biggest fan.
No, I was not. But, so, Jack has a lot more technical knowledge than I have. I like to sit at the table, pretend to be someone else for 4 hours, and flirt with my friends.
Yes.
That's what I like to do.
Yes, you do.
Jack, good handle on the technical, I would say.
Like, I don't have every monster memorized from the monster manual, because, to be honest, in my first campaign, I tried to run a few combats where I used things like Hellbound Fight Club and things like that,
which is a great resource.
If you play by the sort of 6 combats a day thing, then it probably is. But if we sort of do, we always like a combat. There's not many sessions where we don't have a combat.
Yeah.
There is, times where we have 2 to 3 combats per session.
Yeah.
In a single day, I don't think I would do more than 3 combats personally, and that would be on a dungeon crawl.
Unless we pushed it and accidentally did something we weren't supposed to, because we've done that.
Oh, many times. Many
times we have accidentally launched ourselves into a combat didn't mean to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember a time last campaign where you did that.
Yeah.
But I also mostly just homebrew monsters. I don't tend to use any of these because I don't know. There's a lot of times where you're running combat and you're trying to just shoehorn a monster that you find into a combat, and first of all, it doesn't thematically make sense.
Oh yeah, but that's just reskinning, isn't it?
Yeah, reskinning. But I will take a stat block and then just change a few things sometimes. But there's a lot of times where I will just homebrew monsters.
Yeah, but I know I'm kind of giving this context without you guys seeing the context of our games that we play, but Jack's combats are very engaging. They're hard.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Goodness.
No, you are combat. You are chef kiss 10 out of 10. Your combat is such engaging, great combat.
Thank you.
And we all say it. Granted, that there's 4 of us. There's 4 players, and there used to be 3.
Yeah.
So combat's naturally, I think, especially when there's 3 of us, quite difficult.
Yeah, and I would say that the combats this campaign are harder.
Yes, but that's because we have a 4th player.
That's if we have a 4th player, and that 4th player is a cleric.
Yeah.
She's not like that's Abby. She's not like a life cleric.
No, she's a blood cleric.
Or a peace cleric or anything like that. Or a twilight.
Yeah, she's a blood cleric.
She is meant to be a damage DPS.
She's tough as balls.
Yeah, she is. And Josh is a sorcerer, but we introduced some of the 1D&D rules when we started playing, so we've all got like first level feats. Yeah. And he took magic initiate and then did the what's it called?
Meta magic adept.
No, the because there's the primal, the arcane.
Yeah.
Which what's the other one?
The
divine. Divine spell list. God, I can't remember that. And he took Cure Wounds.
Yes.
So, oh my God, having that off heal when you need it. And you're a moon druid, so you can, take care of yourself in terms of healing. Whereas Matthew, he needs a lot of healing.
He does need a lot of healing, but that's just by design. He's a rogue, so that's by design.
And he gets himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, once again, by design. But
Matthew does like to get himself in trouble. It's funny.
Yeah. We have absolutely gone away from Goblin Warriors, Ashfall, and AI here.
Well, it doesn't matter. All right, but
anyway, the back to the point of Jack understands how to create an engaging, difficult yet doable combat more so than I do. But I agree. I saw Goblin minions. I mean, how many of these do you think realistically you would need to have?
For a party that's going up against an ancient red dragon, you're talking, you need to be, I would say, I think you would, with a party of 4, you would still struggle at level 10. I think you're talking like 12 to 14.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It would still be a tough fight. And if you put a group of 4 against the 12 to 14 level against these guys, I think you're going to need 15.
Yeah, I mean, and
I don't think any of them will even hit you. Your ACs by that point will be absolutely out of this world.
Yeah, and
20 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes back to the point of like, use this. You could use this as a tool to get some inspiration.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think for somebody who is new at DMing, I think this has done a fantastic job of setting a scene.
Yeah.
Giving you the stat blocks,
but
I think it would need to specify that you would need a lot of these.
And, don't put an ancient red dragon against a level 5 party.
Yeah.
Although saying that, it did not specify level 5. I think I'm getting confused between the consisting of 5 adventurers.
Oh, is it 5?
It's consisting of 5 adventurers,
right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and you probably are about level 12. Okay.
So, do you want to go through Ashfall's stat block?
Yeah, show me Ashfall.
Okay, so Ashfall, ancient red dragon, huge, chaotic evil.
Oh, it's only huge?
Only huge.
Not gargantuan?
I don't know if there's a difference between... I mean, to look at a regular ancient red dragon, it is gargantuan.
Yeah.
But this
all the ancients are.
This class is huge.
Yeah.
Chaotic evil, armor class 22, natural armor. Hit points 495, which is broken down into 30d12 plus 210. Speed 40 feet, flying 80, swim 40. That is pretty much bang on ancient red dragon.
Is it?
Yeah, give or take.
I don't even think they specify that they have a swim speed. And
No, they don't. They specify that they have a climb and flying speed.
Yeah. Also, ancient red dragons, chaotic evil are lawful.
Chaotic evil.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaotic evil. I've included like an actual stat block of like a standard ancient red dragon from from the book. Well, for Ashfall's attacks.
Yeah.
So Ashfall, they have a bite, which is plus 17 to hit.
To specify how many they make.
You know what? It doesn't actually. Yeah. That is one thing that I will say. This, I think, it's done a great job in combing through stat blocks.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Specifying the exact mechanics. It just kind of has. I'll put it on screen, but it just has like a a bullet point list saying it's got bite, claw, tail, and then fire breath.
Mm-hmm.
It does specify some of the mechanics to the fire breath.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say how many it can. Doesn't say anything else apart from that.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God.
I know. Well.
Oh my. Because if a DM tried to run that and they were like, oh, well, of course I'm just going to use the fire breath every round.
Well, no, it does specify. Well, so I'll go into the fire breath because the bite, the claw, and the tail, they're all one of the same. They're all plus 17 to hit. Mm-hmm. They range from between 2d6 to 2d10 damage, all plus 9.
Yeah.
I don't know how that tracks.
Oh no, yeah, fire breath recharge off that. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
I think they don't have a wing attack on here, and dragons always have a wing attack, and it always does something like, what is it? It like either knocks prone or blows back or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Succeed on a dex save throw of 25, by the way.
I mean, yeah, you need.
I know at that point.
You can, when you're fighting a red dragon, that isn't impossible.
No, yeah. So the fire breath, it does specify that it recharges between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
A roll of 5 and 6. It doesn't specify that it says roll to 5 and 6, but it
just says recharge. Yeah, so, I think you probably get that.
Yeah. So Ashfolic. I keep going to say like exfoliate.
Exhales fire
in a 90-foot cone.
Yeah.
Each creature in that area must make a DC 22 dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Taking 66, which is broken down into 12d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Okay, if I'm correct, that's way smaller. Yeah. Because a normal dragon is
2066.
2066.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think the save's right, though. 22, is it not?
I think the standard...
24.
Yeah, so...
It's not far off. It's like a nerfed dragon.
Yeah, which, you know, I was going to say tracks with the goblins, but not really.
Not really. And there's also things, you know, like adult red dragons.
Yeah.
Young red dragons.
Yeah, so I feel like potentially it's maybe taken a mix of that.
Yeah, I think it's taken a mix of all of the different dragons.
Yeah, kind of a mashup, which, you know...
Oh, yeah, it's done a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if you come on here to do this, I need to see the next one, really.
Yeah.
Because you can just Google Ancient Red Dragon.
Yeah.
But it is impressive, the fact that it's created all of this.
To be honest, I think the more impressive thing from this point is the actual setting up of the combat.
That's so far. This I'm less impressed with. But the, you know... Like, because some people are really great at combat. Like, amazing.
Like you.
Some DMs are, like, so hyper-focused on combat and they are so brilliant at it. And they can mechanically balance 6 combats a day, which I don't think I could ever do. But they struggle with maybe more the creative side. Yeah. If you need that,
I know.
Done.
I know.
That
gives you place to be, gives you a reason.
Yeah.
Gives you the... setting for it, gives
Motive.
You minions.
Yeah,
it kind of sets the groundwork for anything. So that's the first one.
Yeah, not bad. I'm impressed with the setting and I'm impressed with the pre-bit.
The stat block. Yeah,
the stat blocks, but
stat blocks were always going to be a little bit janky.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the second one?
Yeah. What's the next one?
Would you like to? Do you want to give it a rating?
I would say, well, I'll give it a 10 rating. I would say, yes, a little basic, but for an AI, I think it's done a great job with the setting.
Yeah. So
I would give it nearly full marks for that,
okay.
And I would give it nearly bottom marks. For
the really?
Yeah, because they're really not good.
Yeah. Go on, give us a number.
I would just give you 5 out of 10.
Yeah, average.
I think the first half is great, but the second half is
I agree with that.
Bad.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think?
Yeah, give me a rating in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So that was the first one.
Okay.
More of a traditional take. We'll move on to the second one, which I changed the prompt a little bit. I'll just go for it.
Okay, go for it. Well, do you want to tell me the prompt first?
Yes, I'll tell you the prompt.
All right, give me the prompt.
So, create and describe the extremely deadly Dungeons and Dragons combat. Create I spelled brand wrong. Create brand new, never seen before monsters for this combat with stat blocks. Do not include dragons or goblins.
Okay, was that the prompt?
Set the boundary right there.
No dragon.
None of them. Don't want any of that shit. Dragons and Dungeons and Dragons.
Out of here.
Get it out. Get it gone. So this is what it came up with.
Okay.
So the setting for this extremely deadly combat is a cursed jungle, shrouded in an eternal mist. The jungle is home to a tribe of shape-shifting creatures known as jungle wraiths. These wraiths are able to take the form of any living creature they have killed, using this ability to stalk and ambush their prey. The party, consisting of 5 adventurers, has been hired by a wealthy explorer to find and retrieve a valuable ancient artifact hidden deep within the jungle. As they venture deeper into the jungle, they begin to notice that the wildlife becomes more aggressive, and as the mist thickens, making it difficult to see more than a few feet in front of them. As the party continues to make their way through the jungle, they are ambushed by jungle wraiths. The wraiths take form of creatures that the party is familiar with, like a bear, a tiger, a crocodile, etc. The party must use their knowledge of the creatures and their abilities to anticipate the attacks of the jungle wraiths and to quickly identify when a creature is not what it seems. Making things worse, the mist that fills the jungle not only obscures the vision, but also creates a disorientating and confusing environment. The party must use all of their skills and resources to survive the deadly ambushes and reach the ancient artifact before the jungle wraiths catch up to them. And then that's pretty much it, but then it goes into the jungle wraiths a bit more. Jungle wraiths are...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you ready? I'm going to hit you with a plot point.
Go on.
Okay, so just from here and that.
Yeah.
So, let's say, just so everyone knows, I can't tell you how much none of my ideas are completely original. I hear something that I hear, and I don't know, watch a lot of animated series and movies and things like that, and I play a lot of, currently, World of Warcraft and bits like that. So, none of my ideas are truly original. No. You've just said that. The person who put the artifact in the jungle, in this cursed jungle, has warded it by not allowing a wraith within the place it's entombed, or like the object is cursed to be touched by like a wraith, but they need to like get it for some reason. So this wealthy man has come along with them.
Yes, who's hired a party of adventurers.
In the night, he is murdered by a wraith.
Interesting.
And then he is then disguised, like the wraith has disguised itself and made it
as the man.
The group opens up the tomb or gets the artifact, and then this guy just fucking turns.
Just takes it. Yeah. See, that's great.
That'd be sick.
And all of that from.
I know.
Like, if anything,
that's a great tool.
If anything, this is just a prompt. And again, I didn't mention anything about jungles or wraiths.
No, you said jungle, didn't you?
I did not.
I
just said a deadly encounter.
It just went heavy.
Yeah, spelt it wrong, but deadly encounter, and it made all of this. Now, you made a good point. Nothing's original. No thought is truly really original.
Not these days, I don't think.
I mean, I feel like that's part of the joy of this, is you see something that inspires you, and it inspires you to make your own thing.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, things like this AI, I did search and I went to see if I could find stat blocks for something like a jungle wraith, and jungle wraiths do exist, but they're very different to what this is. Yeah. And I'm not saying for a moment that AI is original, because it's all derivative. Yeah. All of it is, but look at that. You just had so much creative juice there.
That's all you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. The party finishes an arc and you don't want to continue with maybe the main plot points or something like that. Maybe you've gone too hard on the main plot point for a little while, and you want to just give them a little side venture to get some gold or another level or something like that. Just that's perfect.
That is perfect.
That's just so great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I really like that.
I agree.
What do you know? Is it modelled off something?
I mean, yes, probably.
Because there's a lot of shape-shifting things.
Yes, probably. And
D&D.
So I will go over the stat block with you, and then I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Yeah.
All right, okay.
So, jungle wraith.
Oh, here it is, yeah.
Medium humanoid shape changer.
Yeah.
Neutral evil.
Yeah.
Armor class 14, natural armor. Hit points 52, which is broken down into 8d8 plus 16. They have a 30-foot speed and a swim speed of 30 as well.
Do you want to know what I would have done? I'd have given him in a jungle.
Yeah.
I'd have 100% given him a climb speed.
Like I was going to say climb speed.
Yeah, you can just use the 30 feet though, can't you?
Yeah, Tarzan it through all them.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. So, the attacks, it has a slam, which is plus 6 to hit.
Yeah.
1d8 plus 3 bludgeoning damage. But then, I suppose the main thing is the shape-shifting. So jungle wraiths can take the form of any creature is killed as an action. In this form, it gains all the statistics of the creature, except for hit points. The jungle wraith can remain in its new form indefinitely, and reverts to its true form if it dies.
Cool.
So, to me, it kind of reminds me of a mix between like maybe a druid and an oni.
Yeah, an oni. It could be like a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much in terms of like mechanically what doppelgangers do.
Well, a similar thing to that.
Yeah. What, can they stay in it indefinitely?
I think so. I have never ran a doppelganger personally, but I imagine so.
Yeah.
But the whole shape, like, I think this thing just does everything great apart from actual mechanical.
I agree.
Like, it's got an attack.
Yeah.
Plus 6, 1d8 plus bludgeoning. It's like, it's in the jungle. Does it hit them with a bit of poison?
No.
Does the poison paralyze? Can they, if they have that climb speed, maybe they could swing through the trees and stuff like that. Can they carry and like steal people through the trees and things like that?
Because I mean, the whole setup to this is kind of, they're being stalked through the jungle.
Do they have like good stealth? Do they have advantage on stealth checks? Do they have like the ranger thing, like hidden in plain sight, where if they're just like remotely obscured, they'll be invisible? Yeah, I agree. I feel like, again, there is so much you can elaborate on. I think what it doesn't do very well is it doesn't take the context to, okay, we're in a jungle. Yeah. How am I going to use the environment?
Yeah. What like the climate of the jungle and, like you said, the environment. But in terms of, I mean, what do you think of that one?
That was even better than the first one. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah, I feel like, again, we have the trope of they've been hired by someone. Yeah. Hired to do X job at X place.
I mean, the thing is, you can change that. They might owe they might owe someone a favor. Yeah. One of the characters might, their backstory might be that they need the artifact for some reason.
It could be an artifact to cast Revivify or True Resurrection.
Like a key to unlock something further down the line. Yeah. But it's also the key for these wraiths.
Yeah. I agree. That again, the inspiration that you can draw from it.
Yeah, I think
by itself, I don't think it.
No, it needs a bit of help.
Yeah.
But I genuinely believe that if you're struggling to even like start a campaign, or you're just in like tell you what, over Christmas we do a lot of D&D, and just before Christmas we're really, really busy with work, and like that's the time where I need to plan the most D&D, but have the least amount of time to plan D&D.
Because we play the most D&D. Because so we have our own small business. We work from home. It's a D&D business. We'll leave the link in the description. Yeah. But yeah, it gets very busy.
Oh, so busy.
Our schedules conflict with others because December's kind of when we're the busiest.
Yeah, and some people are...
People who work more traditional jobs.
That's when they're the quietest.
Get the time off.
Most time, yeah. But, sometimes you just sit down and you're like, I know I need to plan, but I don't have the juices. And you just need something to kick you off. Maybe sometimes this can just be the thing that kicks you off.
Yeah, I agree. And, this isn't a replacement for actually, getting into your own setting or coming up with your own... I say that, coming up with your own things. But once again, everything's derivative. This isn't a replacement for that, but I think it can help.
Yeah, I agree.
There is no replacement to maybe, if you're not feeling very inspired, look at art. Yeah. Watch a series or a movie you like, or read a book that inspires you. Yeah. Not a replacement for that, but I think,
But sometimes I think it depends how creative you are, because I think some people do just need like a mini nudge. Yeah. Because usually for me, if I'm feeling uninspired in any way, I need just something that'll just like snap my brain into gear, and then as soon as that happens, I'm like, okay, and then this, okay, and then this.
Yes.
So
sometimes, you just need, like you said, that little nudge to.
Yeah, we've all had DM brain.
Oh yeah.
Where you just sit there and you're like, and do you want to know what? Most of the time, you'll beat yourself up about it. You'll turn to the session, and then
no one cares.
No one cares. And then you play like, man, that was such a great session. And you're like, was it?
Everyone is just so happy.
Everyone's supposed to play D&D.
To be there. Everyone's so happy to see their friends.
You got to remember that sometimes. Your players just want to play D&D, and they're thankful for you.
See, for even
just turning up and running the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you got to remember that. Sometimes you get bogged down with it's not the great.
I know, and I think that was my problem when I was a DM. I suffer from what my friend Abby described as galaxy brain.
Yeah,
I get.
Margaret's a perfectionist.
I am.
Everything's not.
If I don't excel in the first instance, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So you'll never see me again after this. Yeah. So what did you think?
Oh, that was really good. Again, I think the stat block leaves a lot to be desired. It's actually, in my opinion, better than the dragon stat block.
Oh, really?
Because of the shape-shifting jungle.
Oh, right. Yes. The wraith. Yeah, no, I agree. And, maybe we can do this again where we put more specifics into it. I mean, again, that was just from me putting in 2 prompts.
Then that is impressive. Especially the artifact from a jungle. You've been hired by this rich man and they take the shit. I think that's cool. I think it's really cool. That's really impressive.
Do not include dragons or goblins.
Don't you dare.
How could you?
Get out of here.
So, I guess really that kind of wraps up that segment.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was really good. Did you prefer me keeping them?
Yeah, definitely. I like the descriptions.
Yeah, I like the descriptions. Okay, so I guess let's move on to the one that personally I'm the most excited for.
Yeah.
Am I the Arsehole Dungeons and Dragons edition?
Okay.
So I just combed through the actual Am I the Arsehole?
Yeah.
Subreddit, like I just put in D&D and saw what cropped up. I have a mix.
Okay.
Do you know how Am I the Arsehole works?
People post on Reddit or on forums, and usually someone's the arsehole.
Yes, usually. So I've kind of simplified it into 3 brackets.
Okay.
So yes, you're the arsehole.
Okay.
No, you're not the arsehole.
Okay.
Or everyone sucks.
Oh, everyone's the arsehole.
Everyone's the arsehole.
Okay.
Basically they get voted upon.
Okay.
On Reddit, which is the...
Oh, that's the place where I get all of my opinions. And
yes, indeed. And there's kind of like a public consensus as to which these people fall into.
All right, so they've already technically been like answered.
Exactly.
So we need to see what ours compares.
Yeah. I've got the actual... I've got the verdict of the public people here.
All right, okay. Hit me with the first one.
Okay. Number 1. Am I the arsehole for telling that my D&D DM that I needed a few days alone for my mental health, then playing games with other friends after the session was cancelled? So, here's some background. Monday this week, I had a really hard therapy session that involved dragging up past trauma. Tuesday, my long-term boyfriend and I broke up. And my grandfather and last remaining grandparent was admitted to the hospital, and things aren't looking good. I'm sorry about that. That's horrible. I had told my DM Tuesday night, hey, my mental health isn't really good right now, and I need a few days alone to get a handle on things. The next day comes and he cancels the session. I am 100% fully planning on spending that time alone. One of my other friends, who has known me for years and is actually a licensed therapist, invited me to come game with her and her group because she's right. Being alone was not what I needed, and it would only get worse. Last night I get a call from my DM, and he absolutely lays hell into me, saying what I did was totally disrespectful, and him, and apparently the others in the group who never approached me, were really angry and pissed off with me because I'm the reason the session was cancelled, despite one of our other party members also cancelling as well, and another one dropping out halfway through the session, every week because of rehearsals. I get it doesn't look good, but at the time I sent my DM the message, and he is the only one who I told I needed alone time, by the way. I planned on being alone. So am I the arsehole for not actually being alone? He's really laid into me and said if it happens again, I would be kicked out of the group. Now, there is an edit, which I feel may clarify some information.
Okay.
So the edit is, the game I got invited to go play was League of Legends, which is vastly different from tabletop roleplay game. And I know that game super well and can mindlessly play it, where I'm still learning D&D and I have to think more, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So what's your initial thoughts?
Your DM's an asshole.
Yeah.
So you played our last session, and you've been having, like a rough week.
Yeah.
And normally it'll pull you out, and it didn't this week, and you weren't feeling 100%.
Yeah.
D&D takes a lot.
It does.
Yes, it is great, and it can pull you out of some shitty situations, but sometimes you just don't have the effort.
Sometimes you just don't got them spoons to give.
And sometimes, do you want to know what? I think this group already suffers from a few things.
Mm-hmm.
We now, with 4 players, if one person can't make it, we will still continue the session.
Yeah.
And everybody in the group knows that.
Yeah.
I fear this group doesn't have those ground rules set.
Yeah. It feels like there's no boundaries. And
yes.
The fact that they made a point to clarify that they only told their DM about this, and suddenly the whole group knows.
Which is not fair.
That is not fair at all. And you know what? When I first read it, before I saw the edit, I assumed that they were maybe invited to go play
another game of D&D.
Another game of
which
D&D.
I was a bit like, okay. But it's at the same time, it's strange, isn't it? Because, you joining a D&D group, you also have to respect the fact that everyone else clears out their schedule for that week. But at the same time, look, when shit just goes wrong, it doesn't just come in ones.
No, never.
Like, you've had a rough week, you've had a bad therapy session, and then grandparents and boyfriend, was it boyfriend breaking up?
Yes.
Yeah. It just comes all at once, and it feels rubbish.
Yeah.
So, do you want to know what? Even if that person went to play a different session,
with people who this person openly said they were more comfortable around.
That, to me, if I'd heard that one of my players was going through that time, and then they went and played another D&D session on the same day, but were just like, it's just because they're my close friends, and I would respect it.
I feel like this person has been honest as well. I feel like the DM's being like, oh, this is really disrespectful. But first of all, they didn't even go play another D&D game.
No, they went and played League of Legends.
They played League, which is, first of all, very still stressful.
I mean, but if you're an absolute gamer,
this person said they can mindlessly play it,
which can't relate because League of Legends is rock hard.
What absolute gamer?
Like, it's different things.
Yeah.
There's no social aspect. Well, there is, obviously, because they went and played it with them, but did they play it on voice chat? You don't know.
I know.
Stuff like that, but just sitting in your house and playing League of Legends is different to going and playing a game of D&D.
Yeah.
Getting ready. Sometimes when you're feeling down, that's the hardest bit.
Yeah.
Getting out the door is the hardest bit.
Yeah. I honestly think this group suffers from setting the ground rules.
They need to set the ground rules.
They need to go back. They need to go back to 0, and they need to set the ground rules.
Resession 0.
Yeah.
And be like, if one of us doesn't turn up, we can still play.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we don't play at all.
Or we don't play at all.
But as long as there's an understanding of it.
They also need how open is everyone's schedule? Can we reschedule?
Yes.
Because luckily for us, our group is like super
flexible. Yeah.
So we can, most of the time, it's Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
We don't mind. But we all know that. So if someone even has like a minor inconvenience for the day, is it okay if we play Thursday? Yeah. No one cares.
Yeah. So, I mean, my verdict is no, you're not the asshole.
That person's not the asshole. Yeah. Absolutely not. I hope that person, is feeling better.
This was a little while ago now, so I think this is probably all well resolved.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Fucking hope so.
But the verdict from Reddit was everyone's the asshole.
Nope. Discontinued. Incorrect.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
I agree.
Fuck Reddit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And fuck that DM.
Yeah.
You should respect your players. It's weird because as a DM, you actually do take on like, not like a parent of the group, but you definitely in somewhat the leader of the group.
Yeah.
And
someone has to be.
Someone has to be. Like, if you can't make the session, who do you go to? You go to your DM.
Yeah, exactly.
And that DM at the minute is
just abusing the player's trust, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what? I hope you fucking quit that game of D&D and find somebody else.
I hope that for you too, because it doesn't sound like it's the right table for you at all. Okay.
Next
one. Okay, number 2. Would I be the arsehole if I started to statistically analyse a friend's D&D rolls? I've been playing D&D with a close group of friends for over a year now, and we play online. Our DM allows us to roll dice physically and report what the roll was without any proof, which has worked fine for the most part. We use the honest system, and it's a game. It's not that important. One of my friends has always had suspicious rolls, but it has never been so bad I needed to say something, but recently has gotten far worse. In our most recent game, this friend rolled 100 with a D100 and 4 20s with a D20. This was out of a total of fewer than 10 rolls in the entire session. I want to confront them, but I don't want to do that without any kind of evidence. Would I be an arsehole for starting to track their rolls just to see if what they claim is possible? I've already talked to another player who agrees that their rolls are probably fake, but doesn't see it as a problem. I don't want to kick my friend out or anything. Just ask them to stop faking their rolls. What's your initial thoughts? My initial thoughts are,
you care too much.
Yeah. My initial thoughts are, it's not your job.
Yeah. That's the DM's job.
And this person speaks of, they spoke to another player, but they haven't spoken to their DM about it.
Or the player.
You know what? A lot of these, let's say it together, a lot of these, communication.
Yeah.
If you just have open communication with people, these problems probably wouldn't be problems. And if they continue to be problems, then...
Trust is a massive thing in D&D.
100%. And don't get me wrong, sounds like this person absolutely is fudging their rolls, yeah.
You reckon? I've seen crazier shit than that happen.
Yeah, I know. But if the anecdotal evidence we've been given here is correct, then yeah, come on. Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, but why do you care?
Yeah.
If they're rolling against you...
Yes.
But if you're a team...
Well...
I get it, because, sometimes, you want to succeed, and if somebody else is taking all the glory, I get that.
That's kind of the point I was going to touch on, was, you know what, I completely understand where this person's coming from, in the fact that if you have someone who, if they have a track record of cheating, and you think they're cheating, and... we don't really have the context to how this person is acting in reaction to getting the natural 20s and the D100s. It can be tough. It can be tough and annoying as players.
Especially if you're having a shitter
Oh my God, if you're rolling like...
just ones over and over again.
You're rolling like dog shit. It's not going to make you feel better.
No, it doesn't. It's tough. I think literally all this group needs to do is... have an open and honest conversation that would probably take about 15 minutes to get resolved.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't need to analyze his friend's roles.
I feel like the wording, if I started to statistically analyze, I feel like that's kind of when you get into the realms of, look, this person even mentions, it's just a game and it's not that important.
Yeah.
I can see both sides of that coin.
But at the same time, it is important.
It is important,
I know. Because you turn
up
to have fun, like those amazing moments in D&D are like no other when you need that natty 20 and it happens. And if you don't trust the person that they're rolling those naturally, then it can get a bit sour. Yeah.
And you know what? You don't even have to go about it in the terms of going to this person and being like, I think you're faking your rolls. Can you prove to me or not? You don't have to go about it like that. It can
For the love of God, don't go about it like that.
It could be something as simple as, hey guys, I think maybe we should use a digital dice roller.
Yeah.
Maybe how about we film our rolls? That would be fun if we could actually see in real time the rolls. There's ways of going about it.
But then you're also going into the sort of like passive aggressive.
Yes.
Because if this person knows that you're saying that because of their roles,
potentially,
then you might get into the passive. It literally needs a bit of communication.
Yeah, and I think if you really have an issue with it, you need to talk to your DM.
I think you need to talk to your DM, and then your DM needs to also have this conversation with you.
Yeah,
and then you all together as a group, have a discourse about.
I'm a firm believer of, if there is a group issue, it needs to be resolved with the group.
Yeah.
And it needs to be run through your DM.
I don't know if going to another player is the right thing to do.
I also
another player who's not the player who you're accusing.
That sounds like that's kind of... That gets into the territory of ganging up on someone.
Yeah.
Which is never good.
Not good.
And, they end this post with saying, I don't want to kick them out. I just want to ask them to stop faking their roles. You've answered it there yourself.
Yeah, and also, do you have the power to kick that player out?
yeah. But then again, that's when we kind of get into the whole, I've told this other player, and this other player thinks.
Yeah.
I don't think this person...
that also reinforces your mentality that, maybe not everyone in the group shares, but you're getting that reinforcement from one other player.
I know.
So
you need to have an open conversation. I don't think this person's coming from a bad place at all.
No, I think they're going about it in the wrong way.
Yeah,
but I agree. I think, I agree. Do you want to know what? I get it. And I understand what you're doing. I think the intentions are good.
I do, yeah. Yeah, I think the intentions are good.
Yeah.
Execution, bad.
Execution, very bad.
Bad, very bad.
Very bad.
Very bad. Yeah. Talk to your group. Oh,
that was our dog, by the way.
That was our dog.
Just had a little cough.
Had a cough. Okay. What do you think?
Verdict is tough.
I think
you're being a bit of an asshole, I think. But if that person is cheating, that's sort of an asshole move. So I'm going to say that everyone's being the asshole.
Yeah, I feel like...
Also, everyone's not being the asshole.
I feel like I would like to say not the asshole, not bad intentions, just bad execution.
Yeah, but I think that's where the assholeness comes from.
Yeah.
So I would say...
The public court of Reddit has decreed it is not the asshole. So...
Okay. Do you want to know what? I currently think that guy's being an asshole.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You know what? I put this in because I thought...
It's a tough one, and I don't think he's been a massive asshole.
No.
I'm saying it's they are currently being a tiny, tiny asshole.
Yeah. If maybe it hadn't included the... I talked to another player.
Yeah, that's where it gets nasty. That's where it gets nasty.
I agree. Okay. Number 3. Am I the asshole for making my D&D player change her character? For context, I have been running a pretty casual D&D game that's kind of drop in, drop out for about 2 months. Most of my players are very new, so I spent time with them, helping them build, while I asked my more experienced players to build what they wanted, with the only limits being that everything has to be book official, and that player races use the legacy system. I provided access to all the books, both physically and digitally. One of my more experienced players built a character that didn't follow these guidelines, and now that they are leveling up, I want her to change it. I'm happy to work within those parameters and find a build that will closely match what she wants, but am I the arsehole for making her change her character after playing for so long? Yes. Yes, you're the arsehole.
You think?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's... do you want to know what? I bet you nobody else in the group has a problem with it either.
Yeah.
I think it's just the DM.
Just the DM. And again, there's caveats to all of this.
Yeah.
Right? There's context that we don't know to all of this. But based on the information we've been given there, this person has said, I let my experienced players go and build what they wanted.
But didn't they say...
They didn't build it within the book.
So they didn't...
Yes, but
did
then...
they clear that with you?
Then they also followed it up, though, now that they're leveling up, and she's been playing her character for so long.
Okay, yeah.
There should have been a conversation in the beginning to
immediately
say... Look, you didn't follow the guidelines, so no.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what went wrong at that point, how this character got passed through.
As well as he's like, we've been playing for so long.
For so long, yeah.
So
that suggests to me that maybe they kind of cleared it in the beginning, like resentfully so.
Yeah.
And then it maybe has gotten to the point where they're like, fuck, this character's too strong.
Yeah. So you 100% should have stuck to your guns in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
And if it wasn't by the book, you should have said no.
Yeah.
But now that is your fault.
Yeah, I
letting it go
agree.
so long and now having a problem with it.
it's unfair to let someone build a character, play the character, level up as the character, and then be like, oh, look, I don't like your character.
I don't like that. I need you to change character.
Yeah.
And people are like, characters mean a lot to people.
Yeah, well,
I know some people don't care, but
yeah, well, imagine if I came to you. I'm currently playing a moon druid called Rayla Moondancer, and if I had come to you, and I'm the type of person, I spend a long time on my backstory. We discuss it all day, all night. I really put a lot into my characters. I clear everything with you first.
Yeah.
If we cleared things, then we got into the game, and then you were like,
don't know how I feel about that now.
Don't like that character. And you know what? I would understand if it was maybe a mechanic.
Yeah.
If it was maybe something you'd given them.
Yeah.
But even then,
it's weird for us though, because we like to try things, and if they don't work for either the player or for me, everybody knows that I am the sort of person who's like, right, well, let's change it.
Yeah.
If it's not good enough for the player, then we'll buff it. If it's too powerful, we'll nerf it. But I make that clear immediately. It's like, people get in Magic Items and they're like, geez, are you sure? And I'm like, well, yeah, if it's too much, then we'll just nerf it. But that is immediately open between me and you.
Yeah.
This guy again, this person has said specifically, these are the rules. Somebody hasn't followed them. He's let it get out of control. And then they've gone, well, now it's just bonkers overpowered.
Now it's just too much.
Now I want you to change your character. That's not fair in that person.
Yeah.
You're the asshole.
Yeah, and we're kind of going off the assumption that it is the whole power thing, because they've said now that they're leveling up.
I imagine so. It's like, it could be a storyline thing. Everyone else's could be like super chill in terms of story, but that person's might be like really serious. It might be like a vibe thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it is though, not from what they've said.
I agree. I feel like you should have, like you said, you should have stuck to your guns in the beginning.
Yeah.
And if this character has gone so long unchecked, then if you wanted everyone to follow a particular guideline, you should have checked.
Yeah.
So that's my verdict. Asshole. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Reddit,
asshole.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, we actually agree with
Reddit.
Well done, Reddit. Yeah.
I am so proud of Reddit. That is a fucking real asshole move.
Yeah, it's just mean, isn't it? But
boo.
Yeah. So, on to the second last one. What time are we on?
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So, would I be the arsehole? D&D only works when everyone cares. So there are 2 players
Incorrect already, but
So there are 2 players out of 5 who aren't into the game really, and it's most obvious when we do combat, and my friend and I do most in our turns. And then the other 2 are on their phones, and we have to pull them out of their phones and into the game, and they half-ass it. And to top this off, both of them never go. So in a group chat, I said, we, and then in brackets, the 2 who pay attention and have to drive from another town just to play once a week, and it never changes, will no longer ask if you are coming. You will have to tell us to pick you up along the way. And now they get upset that they didn't get to go. I'm done, but I'm trying not to be mad at them. What should I do? Am I the arsehole for asking them to all stop going together since it's a hassle for us? And then there is an edit. I have talked to the DM. The 2 of us who drive carpool since we live not even 5 minutes from one another, but the other 2 live out of the way with no transport, so we have to get them all. This isn't new. The 3 of us who care have asked individually for both of them to put down their phones, and we bring food/booze, but we never know how much to bring due to the lack of knowing till we would text them the night of asking if they are in fact going. So what do you think?
I'm going to tell you one thing right now.
Go on.
This group did not have a session 0.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
I think more than anything, the most important thing when you're getting together and getting a campaign together, people need to understand I keep talking about the vibes, but it's the vibes.
It's the vibes, 100%. Yeah, you need to know the vibes of the type of game you're going to play. You need to know the type of people you're playing with.
Because do you know what? If you want to just turn up to D&D and chill and, not be bothered that you're on your phone. Like, if somebody was sat at my table and they were just on the phone and they weren't paying attention and in combat, like, that would fucking piss me off. Yeah. But I would make that very clear at the beginning.
Well, and you do.
Yeah.
We all have that conversation beforehand.
Yeah, 100%.
We're lucky. We're all very like-minded people.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're not.
Yeah, and do you want to know what, though? If that's what you want from D&D, that's fine.
There's so many places you can go to play D&D like that.
Yeah.
100%.
And you need to find a table where having your phone out is okay. Yeah. And just turning up and having chill and stuff like that is fine. And then the other two need to also find a table where, people are engaged and people take it seriously and people, know that there's things on the line and things are at stake.
Yeah.
So that's a session 0 problem.
It is.
It's tough. I think the whole, before going to your DM and not having a session 0 and all that.
Yes.
And then going in the group chat and being like, we're not picking you up. You have to. That's being an asshole.
I feel like that's kind of the boundary of, well, they've made the point to say these people don't have transport. They can't get there themselves. They live out of town. It feels like at that point you're creating more of a problem.
Yeah, you're just making a problem. You just need to have a conversation.
Which I understand. It must be so frustrating. 100%. And you can tell how frustrated this person is.
This person's really frustrated. And I understand. I understand.
I would be so upset if that was the situation. We have a similar group dynamic where 2 of our friends don't have access to readily available transport.
No.
And other people have to pick them up. Yes, it would be so frustrating if we got there and at that point they were like, I'm not coming.
Yeah. Or if, you went out of your way to pick them up and then they turned up and then they weren't bothered and they weren't meeting the sort of standards that the other person was wanting to uphold. I get that, but why was that the thing that you resorted to?
Yeah, I feel like there's no respect between anyone in this group, maybe.
Like, it's same again. Just talk to
Just have
each
a conversation. Yeah.
Instead of posting in the group chat some snacky thing about this and that. And look, I understand it's frustrating. I would be frustrated too. I am on your side.
No, I am as well. Yeah.
You shouldn't just be on your phone at the table unless you're checking a spell or something like that.
Unless, there's emergency or,
And, people need to get up and take phone calls. I'm fine with that. Yeah. But, if you are literally, if I'm stood up in the middle of a combat and I'm giving it my all and I look down and somebody's just scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah, I agree.
Then I'll be like, put your fucking phone away.
I agree. And they've made a point to say the 3 of us who care have asked individually for the both of them to put their phones down. Again, it sounds like there's not a lot of open group dynamic conversation going on here.
Yeah, I feel like also,
and you're segregating yourself. The second you say the 3 of us who care, you're already expecting nothing from those other people. You know what? You all just need to break up.
Yeah, I don't know if this group's right for you guys.
You shouldn't play D&D together. If these people,
I think the three people who they should play D&D together because they're clearly on the same level.
The other 2 shouldn't.
But they should find a table that's okay with that.
Yeah.
But I think
I feel like your mind's already made up here.
Mine is.
Oh no, the person who posted this. I feel like the person who posted it, their mind is already made up.
Yeah, they just want to get those 2 out the game.
Yeah, I understand.
So do I.
But there is
a way to do it.
There's ways to do it.
That is not the way.
Yeah, there's ways to do it that aren't.
The fact. Do you want to know what though? The fact that they've clearly said to them openly in the session, "Can you put your phone down?"
I know.
And they persist to have the phones out. Yeah. I think that's pretty disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful, but I also feel like that's answer enough. And at that point, it continues happening. You have a conversation and say, look, it happens again, you're going. Yeah. Not, I'm not going to come pick you up anymore.
Yeah. And it's like, I know that people work hard and maybe you've had a rubbish day and you just want to see your friends, but you also want to just sit on your phone.
Yeah.
Like, they should just be, clearly they want to hang with each other, maybe. Maybe they don't.
Sometimes people have problems saying no.
Yeah.
Sometimes people cannot bring themselves to say, look, I don't want to play in this group anymore.
Hard FOMO. they just want to turn up and be with their friends and don't want the friends to play D&D without them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they actually don't want to play D&D.
They actually don't want to do it. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes people can't say no, but again, all boils down to conversation.
Yeah, it does. Agreed.
So what's your verdict?
Do you want to know what?
Yeah.
Everyone's the asshole.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Everyone's the asshole.
I agree. Everyone sucks. And once again, Reddit agrees.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Reddit actually says everyone sucks.
Reddit's having a fucking day.
I know, Reddit are on point. Okay, so the last one. This is kind of a lengthy one.
Okay. They've all been pretty long.
I feel like this is probably the lengthiest one.
Okay.
So, am I the asshole for confronting my girlfriend about her Dungeons and Dragons romance? My 24 male girlfriend, 23 female, so the poster is 24 male, girlfriend 23 female, of almost 2 years, has a hobby of playing Dungeons and Dragons, and she's been playing with the same group for 3 years now, which consists of 3 guys around her age and no other women. They used to play pretty much every weekend at one of the guys' houses, but since the pandemic, they've been playing remotely, so I've been overhearing bits and pieces of the game she plays from home. That's how I found out my girlfriend's character got married to one of the guys' character. I asked her about it, and she confirmed that they had a whole romance, had a wedding right before a big battle, said vows to each other, etc., playing it off as funny and normal. I heard them talking in character to each other, and I heard her say, "I love you and will always be loyal to you," with her voice sounding really sincere. This made me suspicious there was something else going on between them. I mean, I don't think I would be able to speak to someone in that way without actually having feelings for them, and they spend a lot of time together every week playing, and she's very attractive. Why would this romance have started in the first place if there wasn't sexual tension between the 2 actual people in the room? It's not unreasonable to be suspicious, in my opinion. So I confronted her about it. She basically said it's just a game and I shouldn't take it so seriously, and there were plot reasons they got married anyway. I said it was more the way she talked to him and the fact that this romance came up in the first place that made me suspicious something else was going on. She said something like, "Do you honestly believe I've slept with him?" And I said, "I don't know." At that point, she basically shut down. Then later that night, she went to stay with her mum. She texted me yesterday saying if I don't trust her, then she's not sure we should be together. I do trust her, but I think my concerns are justified. I no longer think she's actually had sex with him, but I think it was fair for me to ask, given all the circumstances. Your opinions, please.
I can't wait to hear what you've got to say about this.
Yep.
The guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, this dude just screams insecure. Insecure.
Yeah.
Listen.
Real bitch energy going on here.
Listen. One of the best parts of Dungeons and Dragons, right, is clocking out up here, clocking into someone else who's much cooler than you.
Oh, yeah.
Much hotter than you.
Oh, so hot.
Much more capable than you.
Oh, my God, so capable.
And flirting with your friends around the table.
Oh, my God. Margaret is with a K, queen of D&D romance.
In-game romance,
she loves it. She flirts with everyone.
I do. I flirt with anyone
and
who...
just in case you didn't realise...
No one's safe.
We're together.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the DM.
We're engaged.
Yeah.
And I flirt with your characters.
In our last campaign, you and Matthew had a romance.
Yeah. Character before that, me and Matthew. So it was really just me and my friend Matthew.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think the issue is this guy clearly doesn't play D&D.
Yes. I mean...
And...
Yes, let's give this guy... a little bit of a break.
I'm going to give him my one and only bit of leeway. He clearly doesn't play D&D.
No.
And maybe doesn't understand that inter-party relationships are a very common thing.
Yes.
He probably thinks she's the only one who's ever done it.
I know. And you know what? Part of me does feel a bit bad for him because he's like, she sounded so sincere when she said it. First of all, grade A acting.
Beautiful. Oh. Yeah, you even convinced your partner.
Oh, I would love to have been privy to that conversation. Oh, I would have loved to watch that role play. I would have loved to be at the wedding.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, imagine a wedding.
That would have been an amazing wedding. Before the battle as well. Before a big battle.
Yeah.
Man, that would have been so epic.
But, you know, I do feel for him a little bit because he obviously was cut up about this.
Obviously. Clearly enough to make a Reddit post about it.
Clearly. But then then it's kind of the undertones of, well, I don't think she actually had sex with him. Why does it boil down to that? And the whole way through, he's going, it's not unreasonable. I think it was fair for me. It's like...
Just trying to convince himself. All he's doing is trying to convince himself.
Yeah.
Do you know the bit that got me was at the end where it was like, I do trust her.
And it's like, well...
Shut the fuck up.
The problem
no,
is,
you don't.
You clearly don't trust her. And outside of not having the understanding of D&D, and don't get me wrong, before we started playing D&D, we didn't understand.
My brother asked me if I wanted to go to the driving range with him on Wednesday, and I said, oh no, I'm playing D&D. And he said, oh yeah, I forgot that you dress up like a warlock or some shit on Wednesday. Yeah. So out of the not D&D community, just hearing that you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and having an independent relationship.
They think it's like a board game.
Yeah, think,
you know, before we played D&D, I didn't understand. However, I come from a background of growing up on the internet and reading fan fiction and writing fan fiction and role playing. So it was easy for me to understand the intricacies of the character you play is not you.
No.
The relationships your characters have are not the relationships you have in real life. Mm-hmm. And they don't carry over. At least they shouldn't.
No. Well... No, they shouldn't. You're right. They should be completely separate. Unless, your friends in the game and your friends outside, then
unless they're like fully consenting relationships and no one's getting... there's caveats to that. You're right. But outside of that lack of understanding, her telling you, look, it's just a game. The fact she finds it kind of funny.
Yeah, and she's laughing when she's telling you it.
Yeah. And... she's saying that there was plot reasons they got married. Quite possibly. What ceremony? You get the...
There could be like two rich families that want to unite in somewhere.
Yeah. Regardless of all of that.
Yeah, that's a fucking side note.
Yeah, no, that's a side note. The fact is you don't trust your girlfriend.
Yeah, the fact is that you say that you trust your girlfriend, but you clearly don't, because when she said there's literally nothing in it, it's just a game, and that's what my character would do. If you truly... trusted her at that point, you would have gone, oh, okay, no, I understand. But you didn't, and the fact that you didn't means you don't trust her.
Yeah, and you're projecting a lot, I think. They've kind of mentioned that, well, how would this romance start if there wasn't sexual tension? That's just projecting.
That's projecting.
That's 100%.
He's just fishing for something that isn't there.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I do understand. If I overheard you on headset telling someone else I love you and I will always be loyal to you. Yeah. But you would again.
Maybe the only thing that maybe I would say that I don't know. It's like, could this girl have just said, by the way, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and in this game there is heavy roleplay, maybe to the point where I will have an inter-party relationship with somebody else. But that, I would say, is the only thing I were given. Yeah,
I agree.
I think, like me and you, it's weird, isn't it? Because obviously the only thing you can do is compare it to the situations that you have yourself. Like we are, like, you have relationships within the party with other characters. Yeah. Obviously I don't care. Yeah. But I think there was a moment last campaign where you were like, you literally just said, you wouldn't mind if I had a relationship with another character, would you? And I was like, no, of course not.
There was a... just double checking and
I think you knew that I wouldn't care.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, you had a relationship with another character in our first campaign
with an NPC.
Yeah, and my first relationship was with an NPC as well.
Yeah. So, but I think that person maybe. I don't know, because it's so hard to give him this modicum of leeway because he's acting like such an asshole.
I know.
But maybe, I do respect that one thing being maybe, you should. But should she? Because he's not even in the fucking game.
Yeah, I know. And all of these, there's never going to be a black and white answer because, again, we don't have all the context. We don't have all the information. We only get one side of the story. And we're biased. I read this and I was like, yeah, you're an asshole because, because I'm biased.
I bet you there is maybe fucking normies out there that would disagree with me and you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, clearly there is.
No,
this guy.
Yes.
How did this guy's come into a D&D? I bet he got fucking blasted.
So, you know what? This isn't actually the D&D.
Oh,
Am I the asshole?
Right, okay.
I just went through like the traditional one. But yes, no, he was branded an asshole.
Yeah, of course he was. And rightly so as well, I think.
You know what? It's mainly the language in this that leads me to be like, yes, you're an asshole.
I mean, and his actions.
And his actions. It's just ways like, I don't think she actually had sex with him.
Shut
and
the
then
fuck up.
How else would a romance bloom? But I say this with the context of, playing D&D and understanding these things. But regardless, yeah, dude, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. Just, can we have a wedding? A wedding in game before a battle.
Sick, wouldn't it?
I would love a wedding.
Well, yeah, somebody needs to fall in love in this campaign. Nobody's currently...
trust me, someone's going to fall in love.
I'm sure you'll find somebody to fall in love with.
Someone's going to fall in love. And it's going to be me.
It's going to be you with someone else.
It's going to be me and someone else. And yeah.
See, but you don't know, at the minute, I can't see you falling in love with any of the other players.
Can you not?
No, I don't think so.
It's a slow burn, I think.
I think it's a slow burn.
She has to, she needs to see what's available.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I'm excited. I'm throwing all the sexy NPCs at you.
You know what? I know you are.
I know.
There was a sexy paladin man who was an elf.
Yeah.
Long blonde hair.
Yeah, he was a bit sexy.
Then I just set him on fire.
Even the tabaxi.
Dude, the tabaxi.
The big barbarian tabaxi.
Yeah, big barbarian tabaxi.
Yeah, pretty sexy.
Yeah, really sexy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll quite do it then.
Yeah, probably.
To end it on that note.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for our first ever podcast.
I really enjoyed it. It was really fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great fun.
I'm excited to do another one already.
Yeah, me too. So, tentatively, our uploading schedule is going to be every Monday and every Thursday.
Yeah. Our little dog's crying.
You can tell that we're coming to the end of our allotted time slot with the dog.
Yeah, the time that we're allowed to be away from him. You finish up, I'll just go and tuck him.
Yes. I can't even remember what I was saying now. That's going to be our proposed schedule. We're going to do everything we can to keep up with that. If you want to keep updated with us, please subscribe to us. Like the video, comment on the video. It helps more than you would ever know. We have a TikTok, we have a social media, find us wherever. Put the links in the description. Thank you very much for joining us. We have been the Eldritch Podblast.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.